What's up, Fantasy Football Universe? Is SC Romero here to bring you another Devy Diamond. And I'm excited about this one because it's my first IDP Devy Diamond. So this is very exciting for me. As you know, I'm a huge advocate of IDP leagues because I believe defense wins championships. So without further ado, we're going to talk about Oklahoma State linebacker Nickolas Martin right after the intro. Now let's get it. The Devy Diamond of today is none other than Oklahoma State linebacker Nickolas Martin. Now, let's go into his history. First, he was a four-star prospect out of Pleasant Grove High School out in Texarkana, Texas. Shout out my Texas athletes. He had 14 offers before deciding on his top three, which was Oklahoma State, which he ended up deciding, Kansas State, and Texas Tech. He said, "Okay, I want to go be a Cowboy." Okay, can't knock him on that. In his first 2 years, he saw minimal playing time in his freshman year, so he ended up redshirting. And then in his freshman season, year two, technically a sophomore, but redshirt freshman season. So actually in 9 games, but didn't do much, only had 15 tackles there. However, last season, he broke out. As you see the ticker at the bottom there, down there, you can see he had led the Big 12 in tackles with 140 tackles overall, total tackles. He was also fifth in the nation in total tackles. So he just came out and dominated. His physicality was shown all over the field, had 30 total pressures, 66 run stops. He just made sure he was one of the top guys and the threat for the Oklahoma State defense, which is phenomenal. Now, going into his season this year, he's going to lead again. I think he has an opportunity to continue to lead the Big 12 in tackles as well, and potentially lead the nation. I don't know. Jay Higgins is still at Iowa, so maybe Jay Higgins gets there. But I do like Nickolas Martin. I think he has the potential to definitely elevate and step up there as well. Now, as far as strengths for him, I mean, this kid is a pure tackler. He's reliable. He has a low miss rate, just over 10% with his missed tackle rate. But he excels in open field situations. He just knows what he needs to do. He has the fundamentals to tackle right and accordingly. He goes right for that mid area, that torso area, doesn't necessarily go with the knees or, hit the head with the helmet, anything like that. Versatility. He's a linebacker that can play inside and outside. He does thrive in the hitting the gaps really quickly, and making sure those run stops are happening and not allowing the running backs to burst out the middle or anything like that. He does have some speed. He can, get a little bit better on the speed, but some of your fastest guys will beat him down the field, but he still can connect with them as well. Athleticism. I mean, he has it all around. He's a speedy linebacker. As I mentioned, Kale Workley, he's pretty agile, in his hip movement and his flexibility as far as adjusting when he needs to go after the ball and have that pursuit as well. But he's really effective when it comes to the blitzing, right? When it comes to getting after the quarterback, adding that pressure, but also getting after the running backs behind the line of scrimmage and making sure that they are not doing what they are need to do and get those extra yards. He's really attacking at that line of scrimmage immediately. As soon as that ball snaps, he's in their faces and making sure they know he is a presence on the defense. Physicality. He's just a physical player. Again, you see that in his tackles. He's strong. He's aggressive. He doesn't necessarily need help to bring the guys down. He could go in there and make that solo tackle for himself. And he's tough in one-on-one situations. I would say 9.5 times out of 10, he's bringing that running back, receiver, quarterback down if it's a one-on-one situation. You can't have guys, don't get me wrong, there are guys that can evade him as well, but he's bringing them down. He's that strong. He doesn't need that help again. And I think this year he really steps up into really becoming the leader. This past year he was the leader of the defense, but this year he steps up and say, "Yo, this is my defense officially. This is my team, and look, I'm going to repeat what happened last year." I think he's going to be able to replicate that. It's players like him, and of course, you could talk about the offensive side of the ball with running back Ollie Gordon, but players like him are reasons why Oklahoma State is favored to some to win the Big 12, and we talk about with defensive back and wide receivers, in practice that iron sharpens iron. Ollie Gordon to some is the best running back in the nation. And guess who's going up against him in practice? it's the linebacker, right? It's gonna be Nickolas Martin. So in the same sense of iron sharpens iron for the wide receivers and quarterbacks, safety for the running back and linebacker. Iron sharpens iron. Excuse me. You have the best running back in the nation going up against one of the best linebackers in the nation in Nickolas Martin. And I think that's going to help him just persevere and just evolve even further. Having another offseason, tackling and practicing with Ollie Gordon, I think that's going to help him evolve even further to just be a dominant defender on the Oklahoma State defensive side of the ball. Now, areas of improvement, coverage consistency. He has the athleticism to cover the tight ends and running backs, but he can struggle with great route runners. He can get beat. He's not necessarily the best when it comes to coverage, so he can get beat there as well. Excuse me. And then especially from quicker receivers, he can definitely get. They can gain that separation on him. As I mentioned, that speed is something he could definitely work on there. Uh, pass rush, pass rush moves. Of course, that's an area where he shines in, but at the same time, he can definitely build up more maneuvers. I feel his maneuver is very um stale as far as when he attacks it. It's kind of the same motions over and over again. So, evolving his techniques, understanding different ways to get around defenders will only make him better as well. And it comes with the block setting as well. He's someone that the bigger offensive lineman could get the best of him. He is strong, but some of those bigger guys, especially your tackles, could get the best of him as well, or one of your strong centers that you may have there too. So, getting a little stronger when it comes to how he's pushing up against the offensive tackles, how he's pushing up against the offensive line to push them back and kind of control it to get further into the backfield for the opponent as well. Lateral agility. He the sideline to sideline speed, not necessarily there. He has more of the straight line speed, right, to go up and down to get in front of those running backs as well. But he's definitely someone that he could get better at it, too. Again, the speed overall, I think, is something that he could focus on to try to just benefit further in catching those guys out wide, or even getting to the backfield even quicker when it comes to him playing defense throughout the Big 12 as well. Especially when you have some rushing quarterbacks, how do you attack it so that you're closing them inside and they're not able to run outside for you instead of, them coming up the middle or you going up the middle? How do you get around to close it so they're not being able to evade, around other defenders also, which I think will help. Now, this year he will be eligible to enter the draft. Will he? We'll see. I think he could be a day 2 pick right now, just with the talent that he has. When I say day 2, I don't. He could sneak into the back end of round 2. I think he's more of a round 3 type of guy, but he's definitely a linebacker that I'm intrigued in because I think he can overshine and do some good things at that next level as well. The Dallas Cowboys are a team of target that I would think of just because they have Michael Parsons. Is Michael Parsons their guy for the future? Well, we'll see. He's talked about wanting to be traded as well. They did draft Marius Liafu out of Notre Dame, which is a solid linebacker there, and they do have Eric Kendricks to a 1-year deal. But next year, things could be up in the air, right? How does Liafu actually go into that defense and make his presence known? I know they have Overshown as well, but again, how do they evolve that? I think Nickolas Martin right now is a guy that could go in there and make an impact right away compared to those guys that they have. Liafu probably, but Overshown hasn't really showed his style yet. They showed at Texas, which is big. So I think those are some things that could definitely help with the Cowboys defense, especially when you talk about stopping the run, someone that they just need to be physical in the middle. I think they've been missing a solid middle linebacker for years, and I think Nickolas Martin can help fill that void for there as well. His tackling techniques are one of the best in the nation, right? So to have someone to go against your defenders, or just stopping a Jaden Daniels, or just stopping Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley, even, I think that'll be big because I think Nickolas Martin understands how to properly wrap up those offensive playmakers and make that their big games end up being short games because he's getting after it right away. Now, as far as the fantasy impact, this kid broke out that season in tackles. Depending on what kind of league you're in, when it comes to college fantasy football, tackles should be, something that is scored upon. And if that's it, he's a top athlete. He's also someone that can get some good sacks too. He's not, breaking the bank and getting 14, 15 sacks, but he gets you 2 or 3. He gets you a couple interceptions. And then, again, the tackling is what makes him a monster machine, which leads into his pro success on the fantasy impact. Tacklings matter, right? And you think about those top linebackers, your Olu Khan, your Roquan Smith, your Bobby Wagner, the guys that rack up consistently over 120 tackles. I think Nickolas Martin can get to that caliber of defense and be a top linebacker in the nation. Is he gonna beat Olu Khan and Roquan? No, not off the gate, but I'm saying I think he can make that impact if he's at that right style. And if it's the Dallas Cowboys, I think he will be one of the top tacklers in the league. And I think he's going to be a top tackler for the Oklahoma State Cowboys as well. So ironic I said Cowboys and Cowboys there. But, he's going to elevate. He's going to be a leader in the Big 12 in tackles. He's going to be a leader in the nation in tackles. And at that next level, I think he could still be a leader in the league in tackles as well. Nickolas Martin is one of my favorite IDP prospects right now. I'm all in on him. I have him in the Devy leagues that I'm playing that are IDP as well, or C2C leagues as well that are IDP2. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do. Big things are in store for him. I think he could do some great things this upcoming season. Of course, time will tell. But for now, that's our Devy Diamond today, which is Oklahoma State linebacker Nickolas Martin. Until next time, I am SC Romero, the Devy Mastermind of the Fantasy Football Universe. If you like these videos, like, comment, subscribe. We are doing things year-round in the Fantasy Football Universe YouTube channel, so we would appreciate you to support us and go with us along this journey to help you win your fantasy leagues, not only the pro leagues, but also your Devy and C2C leagues as well. Until next time, peace.